Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. The Kranvagen. Now, do you think that this tank is the best tier 10 at the moment? In my opinion, it is. I think it is. Obviously, some people are not going to agree. Some people may agree. But there is a couple of tanks at the moment in tier 10 that is just completely amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. This is one. Obviously, you got the M6 Yo is another one that everyone is saying is overpowered. It is a little bit, but I believe both of these are overpowered in their own mind. Now the Kranvagen, I do think is it's got to be up there with the best tier 10 at the moment. I fully agree with that. And there's loads of different reasons. One, mainly because of the turret. I mean, the turret is just God. The turret is just godlike. On top of that, it doesn't have the DPM. It has low DPM, but it is an auto reloader. And that is what I love about this tank. I love the whole auto reloading mechanism. I think it's amazing, and it just brings so much diversity to the tank. You can play it like I say with all auto reloaders. You can play it as a single shotgun, you can play it as an auto loader, or you can play it as an auto reloader any way you want. Like, you could reload one shell and shoot, or you can reload 2 shells and shoot, or you can just reload all 3 shells and shoot. It brings so much to the game and to this tank it fits it, and it really is amazing. Now, the only downfall about the tank is the speed. Now, when we tested this tank, the speed made it OP. The speed was absolutely amazing, but Wargaming did nerf the speed before they bring the tank out, and that for me is the only downfall about the tank. I don't mind the DPM because it is an auto reloader. You can still, even with low DPM, you can really still pump out that damage. If you can reload the 3 shells and get all 3 shells out, you really can pump that damage out quite quickly, and it does make all the difference. I always say, if you've got a shot, then take that shot. Whether you've got 1 shell, 2 shell, or 3 shells, if you have a shot, then take it. Now, you can see here I currently have 2 shells. I am going to take the shot, which is pretty lucky. Even though we bounced, it was pretty lucky because I literally just reloaded that shell. I should have left it a second, but of course I do end up wasting the shell because the Jaegeru takes out the tank anyway. There are certain situations where you have to reload a certain number of shells, whether that be 2 shells or 3 shells, and we're going to get to that, which is why I am using these 2 replays. One of them, I know where I do wrong. I know where I did wrong, and that's why I'm going to show this replays, just to show what I did wrong about the whole reloading, the whole auto reloading system. There are certain situations where you have to, for DPM wise, you have to reload more than 1 shell, and we are going to get to that when we when we get there. So at the moment we are up against a Leopard and a Moistion. Now, the Leopard is a 2-shot, so being on sort of 568 hit points, I'm a 2-shot to that Leopard, so I do not want to go chase him with only 1 shell loaded, because that means he will beat me. So I wanted to hide. I thought he was going to run and chase me, but he doesn't do that. Fair play to this guy in the Leopard, though. He has a great game, and we actually come up against him quite a few times this evening, and he pretty much beat us all the time. So fair play to this guy. Movements in the Chrono Clan on NA. He did a great job. We also come against Fatnists like 2 or 3 times as well, which was quite annoying. He beat us all 3 times, or twice. I can't remember how many times. I think it was twice. But he beat us twice, and he kills me twice. The first game I come up against him, easy, nearly 7k damage. Second game I come up against him, sort of nearly 5k damage. It's just, he is such an insane player. So this game, I mean, I haven't done the greatest. 2.5k damage. I want to get close to this Jaegeru, and I was thinking, okay, the only way the Leopard can sort of win this if he gets close to the Moistion, because he has hit points. Unfortunately for him, and the game changer for us was he crashes into this thing here that stops him, and because of that, I was able to kill him. Now, that has literally changed the outcome of this game. Now, I know the Moistion is still over 2,000 hit points, and theoretically, like, our Jaegeroo is a one-shot, potentially, and I'm potentially a one-shot. So the tank itself, you always want to try and use that turret. There are some tanks that can penetrate it. Obviously, you have the big TDs that can easily penetrate it, but you go hold down against a medium tank, for instance, yeah, and even most heavies, nearly all heavies actually, they're not getting through that turret. They're not getting through that turret, even with premium ammunition. If you angled correctly using the gun depression, no one is getting through that turret bar a couple of TDs, like maybe the Hori, etc., and things like that. But maybe a Jaegeroo can get through it. But you use that gun depression, it is an amazing tank. Of course, it does have the speed boost. It does have the speed boost, which you can make it go faster for a short period of time. But you know what? I personally, I would change the tank. It is quite OP. The tank is quite OP. I mean, we get a nice ace there. I don't think we deserved the ace, to be honest. We didn't do that much, 4.5k damage, but it was 1500 XP, and we do get like 1300 assistant damage there as well. So I would actually change a few little things about the tank. I would make it quicker. I would definitely make the tank a little bit quicker, but in respect to that, if they're going to make it quicker, they have to take something away. They can't make it quicker and leave it as it is, because it will be overpowered. Really overpowered. So maybe just sort of drop a few millimeters of the turret armor and give it more speed. That's what I personally would like. A lot of you may not. A lot of you might say, nope, don't want it, or that's a bad idea. But that's personally how I see it, and that's personally how I would like the tank. Now, this game here, we are on Castilla, and I play a little bit aggressive here. I do take a shot from the Yo, which was unnecessary. I didn't need to take that shot, but I see the T-54 pushing up, and I thought, you know what, I can get myself into this hold down position on this hill here, and I can farm damage, because again, like I said, hardly anything is getting through that turret. Whilst nothing is getting through my turret, I'm able to pen almost everyone else's turret apart from that shot. Now, we are going to use all 3 shells here. We penetrate a couple of them, and my guys play a little bit more aggressive, but because they're playing a bit aggressive, it makes me sort of push forward as well, because they're going to focus on our guy there. That, again, was a nice shot. Brings the Yo down to very low hit points, and our Yo just wants to, I mean, some of these guys just didn't need to do what they did, and it's the same as the Object 263 here. The Object 263 doesn't need to be in this position, and also the Waffle does not need to be in this position. They are playing front line. They are TDs. They do not need to play in these positions, and because they are playing in these positions, they're both just getting absolutely wrecked. Look, this guy, he's just getting ripped apart, the Object 263, and he's going to get taken out, and then they're going to start focusing on our Waffle. So I really want to take care of this Yo. I really want to get him out of the game, but we're going to back up. They have an E100 that is coming as well. They have the T95 there, and this Waffle still remains where he is. He should be backing up, maybe supporting me from a little bit of distance, but you know, he wants to just play front line. I'm happy where I'm at now. Now, we do have the Yo that is a one shot, so I really want to take care of him. We have the E100 that is pushing up. Now, he's in a situation where he can't really pen me from his position, and I took a shot there. I reloaded 1 shell, so that's how we're really going to play this tank most of the game. But there's certain situations where you think, you know what, you should have loaded more ammo, more shells. So that shell there, again, didn't really need to load anymore. We'd rather take the tank out, and now we're pushing a little bit forward. Again, don't really need to be where we are, but we do get a shot, and now we're just looking at backing up. It's a 4 versus 5 at this point. I don't really want that T95 to push up. So what I should be doing here now, the E100 is 800 hit points. He is potentially a whole 3 shells. I should be backing up. I should be backing up around this corner. There is a tank behind me, which is the medium. We do get a nice shot there, but now definitely he's a 2 shot. So what I should be doing is just baiting this guy. I should be reloading at least 2 shells, but I'm not looking at doing that. I'm looking at just trying to get this shot out. If I was to wait another 5 seconds, I could be a little bit more aggressive, but instead I rush my shot, and I missed the shot, and I do get bounce in return, but this is the mistake from me. He's a 2-shot. I shouldn't really be reloading one shell at a time, especially when I bounce both shots, which is so unfortunate, but it's my own fault. I could have played a lot more aggressive if I had the 2 shells, and I could have aimed my shells a lot more easier, but we do bring him now down to a 1-shot. But if I would have aimed my shots properly, reloaded the shells, then that guy would have been gone. That guy would have been gone, and I potentially wouldn't have had to take a shot from the T95 and from that waffle. I do get another lucky bounce there, but now I'm going to use the speed boost and get around these guys. I want to get around this E100 because, of course, he is a 1-shot and I can actually hide from him. But the difference is, these shots now that I'm taking on the E100, I'm a 1-shot. I shouldn't need to be taking them shots on the E100. This waffle now has missed. He isn't running the spool liner. If I would have taken out the E100 sooner as when I did, then this waffle would have been taken out by now. He would have been a 1-shot. I would have had another shot, and he would be gone. I could have taken him out a lot sooner than I did. But he misses his shot. God knows what he does there. And again, stupidly, I didn't realise I was still using the HE. I thought I was using the APCR. Now, that was unnecessary. Again, I could have taken him out, and I could have now had an extra shell reloaded. But because of that, it's now a 2 versus 3. I'm on 6.4k damage. This could easily be a win, but unfortunately for me, our E100 has gone AFK. But he has taken a tank out of the game. This 120 is a 2-shot for me, and I fluff it. I could have used cover from one of these tanks, but I mess up. And I mess up mainly because I wasn't using the auto reloading system properly. And I respect that. I see where I did wrong, and that is my own fault. But we still finished on almost 7k damage. We get the well-deserved ace, but it didn't help with the AFK. So for me, the Kranvagn is the best tank in tier 10 at the moment. What's your opinion? What is the best tank in your mind in tier 10? Let me know in the comments. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you soon. With